Today I am going to make a gluten-free wonton wrapper. And the reason I'm making these is because I am celiac and I have not been able to have egg rolls in a while because I cannot find gluten-free egg roll wrappers. So this wonton wrapper will serve the purpose. So the first thing you want to do, and I feel that is very important, is that you have a scale, and you don't have to have the bowl with it, to measure out your ingredients, because what I have found with doing gluten-free baking, really anything gluten-free, is you really need to, with the recipe, you really need to be precise on your weight. So you're going to start out with 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose gluten-free flour, and that will equal out to 245 grams. I personally like to use Bob's Red Mill gluten-free baking flour. It has everything in it that you need. I like to put it in my jars, keep it fresher. So the reason, I just want to show you a little something here. So put on your scale, make sure it's on grams. Weigh out your bowl if you have one. Well, you'd put another bowl on it. Zero it out. So if you think that just measuring out 1 3/4 cups of flour is going to get you to 245 grams, we'll see. It all depends. Do you hump it? Do you just go across and measure it out? That's usually what I did with regular baking. So there's 1/4 of a cup. There's 1/4 to what I think is 1/4. There's 1/4. And then we need a cup. And I always kind of like do that. Okay, so if I didn't weigh this out and I put in 1 3/4 cup of flour, it is not 245 grams. This weighs out to 282 grams. So this is why a lot of people's gluten-free baking does not turn out, because you're not weighing it on the scale. So we want to get it down to 245 grams. Well, now it's just 230, 248, and we are at 245. If you have a stand mixer, that's great. If you don't, it's just going to take a lot longer. I personally do not have a KitchenAid or a fancy, really expensive stand mixer. I have a brand that is called Angel. It's really, really reasonably priced. I believe it was $50-some that I got on Amazon. I love it. It does exactly what I need. So put your flour in there with your paddle. And if the flour mix that you're using does not have xanthan gum, you're going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon. But Bob's Red Mill has xanthan gum in it, so I don't need to add that. And another thing you're going to add, and you're really going to want to buy because it really helps with gluten-free baking, it is 100% gluten-free modified tapioca starch. And what this is that it enhances the texture, the flavor, and the appearance. And it's only made from one ingredient, and that is pure cassava root. What this will do is this will help, well, this will eliminate when you're stretching out your dough, whether it's pie dough or this wonton, it will keep it from ripping. So that is why it's kind of important to have this. I mean, it's not necessary, but it's really a good thing to have. So what you're going to add is 35 grams. Take that back off. Zero it out. And I'm not sure how much 35 grams is. Well, we're getting there. We're at 33. $35. Put it in this way. And then the next thing you want to add are 3 eggs. And here's another important thing about eggs. You want to weigh your eggs out at 150 grams. They will be out of the shell. So, as you can see, I have many sizes of eggs in my house because I have chickens. So, do you just do, if you don't weigh them out, do you do 3 eggs at this little size, or you do 3 eggs at that size? I don't know. So, let's weigh them out. Let's do 3. These would be small eggs. So these 3 small eggs is only 102 grams. Well, that's not going to work. Now I'll do 3 eggs that are regular, which for me, I think is a normal egg. And these 3 larger eggs is over the limit. It's 150 grams. So that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a little bit of an egg. Take out some of the yolk. Okay, so that is why it's extremely important to weigh out the grams of everything you put in gluten-free baking. And then you want to add 1/4 cup of water. Make sure it's warm. And then you're going to put this down. And you're going to mix it at medium, probably a minute or 2 until the dough comes together. I like to stop it and kind of push down the sides where the flour gets stuck. That's nice. Nice smooth dough. That is really nice dough. Now what we're going to do is put it back in. If you have any like little crumbles down in there that are not mixing, just add a water drops at a time until they come together. Your dough should be smooth. It should be pliable. If it feels a little too stiff, add some more water to it. Now what it needs to do is it needs to be slightly sticky, which it is. I can feel it sticking to my hand, but it is super smooth. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take some plastic wrap. You're going to put your dough in there. You're going to wrap it up tightly. And you're going to let it set for like 10 minutes. Now what this is going to do with it sitting is that the dough is going to absorb the stickiness, the water that is still left in it. And then after 10 minutes, it should be nice and smooth, no stickiness. Okay, our 10 minutes is up for the dough to rest. And in that 10 minutes time, it gives you time to clear your table off. So we're going to unwrap this. We're going to divide it in half. You can cut it, but I just rip it. You're going to kind of want to make a rectangle. And you want to keep flipping it. Add more flour if needed. And overall, when you're done with this, you want these to be about 1/8 of an inch thick. For me, that's a guessing game. I'm not that good on the measurements of the thickness when it comes to like a 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch, but we'll give it a go. And like I said, you want to keep flipping it. Oops, add more flour if necessary. Because you don't want these thick when it's going to be wrapped up into an egg roll. That looks pretty thin to me. Now, you can take your pizza cutter or a sharp knife and kind of just come down and get off the rough edges. To make them that when you do cut your squares that they look like a square. Well, I guess we'll go up here. And you want these to be roughly 3 inches. And right now I'm guessing because I'm really not sure if these are 3 inches. But you can measure them. I kind of know the size because I've made egg rolls so many times. Mine are going to be different sizes, but you know what? That's okay. There, we'll take that edge off. And then what you want to do is you want to, if you're not going to use these right away, you're going to want to wrap them in wax paper to help keep them fresh. And there you go. I like to fold it over. You don't have to. You can put them in a layer if you want. And this is the reason why you use the Expandex, because there's no rips, there's no tears in these. And then if you're, like I said, if you're not going to use these right away, you just put them, store them in the freezer. These are beautiful. These turned out perfect. Perfect, perfect. And I just flip that over and layer again. I think I'm just gonna, because I'm gonna use these pretty rapidly. And then you just do the same thing with your other half of the dough. And there, if you are celiac or if you are gluten sensitive, now you have a recipe that you can make your own egg roll wrappers, wonton wrappers. You can use these for dumplings. So I hope you give it a try because I think you will really enjoy these.